Okay, would you rather have the ability to control ants with your mind or be able to communicate with rocks? Do you want to open this up?
Yeah, this is perfect. There are very clearly some advantages to each of these.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Like, for example, if you could communicate with ants, nobody would fuck with you ever again. Ever again. And then, like, also, if you have an enemy, you just, like, throw a bunch of ants at their house, and then have them just, like, siege the whole fucking house. Just infest their house with ants. It's the perfect crime.
Absolutely. No, it really is. I don't know. I was thinking about this, actually, as I was getting ready for stream, and I was like, really, what would be the main benefit here for each thing? Having ants as your allies, I feel like you could get a lot accomplished, especially in the realm of, like, getting back at your enemies, which I guess it depends on who you are, if that's, like, something that appeals to you. But also, with rocks, it's like you have spies for anything that you want all over the world.
Yeah, exactly.
Everywhere. You've got instantaneous information on anything outdoors and some things indoors. Everywhere in the world.
The question is, would each rock have a different personality? Or is every rock just kind of the Earth? And therefore, like, mono-personalitied?
I feel like I'm thinking, like, the rocks is like a hive mind situation. It's like you've got, like, little spies, like, everywhere that you're connected to at all times.
That's the question, though. Like, I feel like the ants are, like, a more, like, give me the power now kind of a deal. and the rocks are playing the long con, you know. And generally speaking, the only good a rock will do is give you information about what it's seen, right?
Yeah, it's kind of like hard to, like, I feel like having both, truly you would be, like, unstoppable, so it makes sense that you can only choose one or the other.
Yeah.
Because you'd have a lot of intel on where to send those ants if you also had the vantage point of every rock.
Right, exactly. Like, you could find the best possible place to put ants. And that's just much power for one person.
So far with, like, with Chad, it's winning. Control ants with the mind is winning at 75% so far. It's gotta be the ants. Okay. It's gotta be, even if you don't abuse it. I think I'm starting to, like, lean into, at first I was like rocks, but I'm kind of leaning towards the ants. Can ants fetch an object for you? Like, if you...
for sure. They're,
like,
so strong.
Like, if you, like, send, like, ants in large quantity, can you have them lift, like, really heavy stuff? Like, if I see, like, a couch or a table on the side of the road that someone's getting rid of, and I'm like, that's really nice. Like, can I send ants to go pick that up? If there's enough?
I feel like the question is, how much surface area does the bottom of the object have, right?
That's, yeah.
If the table was, like flat top down, then I think, yeah, probably. But if, you know, the only surface area was, like, the ends of the four legs, I don't think that many ants could carry a table. So, you know, it's like the same principles as crowd surfing.
I don't know how we're gonna, like, get to the, like, bottom of, like, what is objectively the best, but I think we are circling the drain on choosing ants, because rocks aren't even really part of the conversation anymore.
And even then, even if you didn't use the ants for that kind of stuff, you could at least keep them from infesting your house, right? Like, if you live in the South and there are, like, fire ants and sugar ants and shit.
Oh my god, we didn't even get into types of ants. There's so many types of ants. Wait, so okay, but here, counterpoint, if you're able to communicate with rocks, are you able to communicate with, like, an entire, like, mountain?
Ooh.
Is an entire mountain a rock?
That's kind of sick.
Can I gossip with, like, the Grand Canyon? Because that might be something.
That sounds like a sick book waiting to be written. That would be a bestseller immediately if people actually believed you could talk to rocks.
The Rock Whisperer. I don't know. And just think of all the puns. There's at least 4.
It also sounds like a Netflix special waiting to happen.
It really does. They'll buy anything. Well, our lines are open. If any Netflix representatives want to call in right now, you can call us literally anytime. We'll be here all day.
So true, you could talk with Mount Rushmore. Do you think they would have the personalities of the presidents?
I don't fucking want to talk to Mount Rushmore. I don't have anything to say to Mount Rushmore other than get out. I don't want to talk to Mount Rushmore.
You know, my question is, like, would the rocks grow mouths?
How much control do we have over the rock? It's literally only communicating with the rocks. I feel like that's valuable. I'd be giving out a lot more rocks as gifts, I think. I think I'd be giving out rocks as, like, presents.
Oh, so true.
To people,
like,
so that I can listen to what they're doing in my spare time.
Oh, I see. You wouldn't, like, pick nice, good-natured rocks who, like, wanted a nice house to live in. You're setting up a network of spies that you can use later.
Yeah, I'm setting up, like, a Little Angels type of network of, like, little dudes who spy on my enemies, like, all over. I'll go into the business of, like, making and selling, like, painted, beautiful rocks. And then I'll sell/gift them to people that I want to listen to. I'll have my little angels. I think there's something to it. I feel like we could go into this for like 20 minutes. I'm very comfortable debating this right now, even though they are just such wildly different things.
I honestly don't know which one I would choose.
I'm still on the fence about both.
It's just It's such a like, both are very compelling, and both are powers that I would, like, love to have.
Yeah, they are kind of compelling for their own reasons too. But the common denominator for me is I'm thinking of ways in which I would use them to sort of get back at my enemies, and I think that reflects more on me than the subject that we're talking about in general.
Well, right, like, anyone with superpowers has the power to become, like, either a supervillain or a superhero.
But I feel like if you're using ants to fetch stuff for you, like food, do you think they're gonna shave a little off the top for themselves?
Ooh, good point.
Do you know what I mean?
What is the personality trait? Like, what's the whole, like, deal with ants? You know, like, would they, like, you're like, hey, can you go grab me that burger? You come back with an ant-bitten burger.
I don't want the ants pinching into my food in any way. I really don't.
Yeah, and on top of that, like, when you can communicate with ants, right? Or wait, was it control ants or communicate with them?
It's control ants with your mind or communicate with rocks.
Okay, well, if you could control ants with your mind, you can just, like, have them not do that, right? You can't communicate with them. You can't talk to them. You just, like, send a wave of ants wherever. So, I feel like there are two things that are seen from the outside with this. If you can control ants with your mind, you're gonna want to always have ants with you.
But wait, okay, but hold on, fair enough, but, like, could one not assume that ants can be found in almost any location?
That's true.
How frequently are ants just, like, within 20 feet of you? I feel like it's gotta be very frequently, right? Because they're kind of, like, everywhere. Like, I feel like I could go somewhere and within 10 minutes find some ants nearby.
That's stressful, actually.
They're universal. Yeah, they're universal. What do ants do in winter, though? That's a fucking really good question.
See, but Cherry, I was thinking just that. Like, what if you just had an ant jar?
Just a jar. You can throw like a Molotov cocktail.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's good.
Where were you on January 6th?
What were the ants' involvement in January 6th?
The way you would be perceived as the ant person. There's one thing, right? It's not quite as, like, noble. It's not even as noble as, like, the moniker Tiger King, right?
I'm fucking melting at I would walk around in a large exoskeleton composed of entirely fire ants.
See, that's the thing, right? Like, you become the world's most formidable warrior, even without any actual combat skills. Just because people don't want to fuck with someone coated with ants.
I think I'm Team Ants officially at this point. I think I'm officially Team Ants. I wasn't able to make a stand until now. I feel like the ant situation has so much more practicality and just superiority than the Rock situation. But I think the Rock situation is cool, and I want it to be known, even though it's not important.
The thing about the Rock Whisperer is that you will be perceived in a much less, like, harsh lens, generally speaking. You're not the guy carrying around a jar of ants or just pulling them up from the ground like Pikmin.
That could be our little secret, though. Like, it doesn't have to be public knowledge that I'm the ant controller.
Right. Well, I think someone's gonna catch on eventually.
Not if you
like,
put ants in their eyes.
Whispering into their hand and then releasing ants onto the counter. I don't...
I'm noticing a lot of ant-related tragedies anytime you come around. I think you might be the person who controls the ants.
But then, the thing about being the Rock Whisperer is that nobody would believe you, ever. Like, if you...
How do you prove that?
Yeah, exactly. Well...
Other than, like, learning information with the rocks that nobody else could ever know. That sounds hard to quantify.
I feel like there's, like, a series of tests you could do to prove it. Like, someone goes in, like, a soundproof room, like, 10 miles away with no cameras or anything, and, like, says something, and then you get a hold of the rock, and you're like, the fuck did he say? And you learn what they said. I feel like that's pretty solid proof.
I'm trying to imagine a way in which you could use each of these things to make money. Now I'm like, what if money was a motivating factor? And I'm like, which of these things could I use to, like...
You heard of a flea circus?
Because, well, I guess...
circus. Ants are so much easier to see than fleas.
So true.
You'd make a fortune.
That's a really good point.
Fleas would technically, I think... Well, it depends on what kind of ants you have. You ever seen a fucking bulldog ant? Or a bullet ant?
Okay, well now I feel like I gotta pull up a visual on this.
Oh boy. Warning, ants.
Content warning. Ants.
Bulldog ants are enormous.
Oh,
they're
shit.
Like...
Wait, are they really this big? What the fuck? Hold on.
Yeah, they're fucking big.
Is this real? Wait a second.
And
No, like, you don't have to wait a second. Like, you can keep talking. I'm just reacting to the ants. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, bulldog ants are... Oh, there's a picture on the right of someone holding one.
Whoa!
In a vial.
Oh, no way. That's...
Yeah, so
okay.
Bulldog ants are fucked up, and they got their name because they will chase you. If they think that
like
you're on their fucking turf. Yeah. And then bullet ants get their name from their bites feeling like a bullet wound.
I'd give them little leather jackets to me. Oh, sending ants into ATMs and stealing money. It seems like there's a million reasons why ants win. I don't even think it's close anymore.
You would be the perfect villain. Like, that's an actual villain power. Control ants.
The antagonist.
Like, you could steal so much shit, and people could never link it back to you because ants did it.
I'm trying to think of a good name for this villain, and the antagonist is not good. It's kind of good, though. Whatever.
But, like, if you cultivated a whole colony of, like, bulldog ants and bullet ants and, like, all kinds of different ants, and just had them at your disposal, that would be horrifying. You would be a formidable foe.
You could get away with murder with these ants because there would be no fingerprints. There would be only ants.
It would only be ants.
Philanthropist.
Oh,
the assist ant.
Assist ant.
I don't know. I cannot think of a single good name for an ant-related villain that is not extremely funny for the wrong reasons.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Like, it's perfect. Ant villain is perfect.
Ant villain. I think we've literally wrapped this one up. I think we've literally come to the conclusion. Are you ready for the next question?
I'm ready. Yeah.